ladies and gentlemen, distinguished representative from the Faculty of Medicine, Public Health and Nursing, Universitas Gadjah Mada, as well as the Melbourne School of Population and Global Health, the University of Melbourne, distinguished representative from LPDP and all participants joining us today. My name is Muhammad Hafiz Haunan, and I will be your moderator for today's info session on the double degree program between Universitas Gadjah Mada and the University of Melbourne. Without further ado, we will now proceed to the program overview of the Master of Public Health from the University of Melbourne. Please welcome Associate Professor Belinda Dawson from the University of Melbourne. The time and screen are yours.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And a very warm good morning to you all. I'm just going to get my slides, and greetings from Melbourne, where it is a beautiful but very warm summer afternoon of about 40 degrees Celsius currently. So we're very warm but very pleased to be joining you this morning to talk about our Master of Public Health program, which is in the Faculty of Medicine, Dentistry and Health Sciences at the University of Melbourne. And the University of Melbourne is on the traditional lands of the Wurundjeri people, and I would like to acknowledge them as the custodians of the land on which our Parkville campus of the University of Melbourne is located. So coming to you from Melbourne, I'm Belinda Dawson, and I'm the Acting Course Director for the Master of Public Health. I've also included a photo and some information about Emma Barnard, who is the Associate Course Director of the program, and Emma and I were fortunate enough to visit Indonesia back in August, so we may have met some of you at that time. So our school, where the Master of Public Health program is situated, is the Melbourne School of Population and Global Health, and we are the leading school of public health in Australia. And we're committed to working together and teaching students around fighting inequality in health outcomes. And we do that, and we strive to do that through excellence in research and higher education. And our focus is on evidence-based advocacy. In summary, we seek better health for all, locally and globally. We're also a very multidisciplinary, diverse and inclusive school, and I hope you will experience that we are very welcoming. Our school is quite large. We have 7 centres and institutes within the school and over 450 staff. We have a large cohort of graduates, so PhD research students, with about 150 at the moment. We also are highly productive in our research outcomes, with about 1,500 research publications per year. As I said, our focus really in the School of Population and Global Health, while our topics might vary a lot, we all come together around improving and protecting the health and wellbeing of populations and communities in Australia, but also around the world. And we do that through research, teaching, learning, community engagement and partnerships. And the idea and the focus is to translate the evidence into policy and practice. Here's some photos of some of our very dedicated and skilled teaching staff. And if you join us in Melbourne for some of your time as a student of public health, these are some of the familiar faces that you will see within our program. So our School of Population Health is the #1 public health school in Australia, and we're ranked 16th in the world for the topic of public health. We also have highly employable graduates from our program, and you can see there that we're ranked #8 in the graduate employability rankings. So focusing in from our school into the Master of Public Health at the University of Melbourne, this is a program where students have the opportunity to embark on a transformative career. And we prepare students and graduates to be leaders in public health through a blend of coursework, real-world practice and research. And we equip you with the skills that you need to tackle current, but also thinking about those future public health challenges. Very importantly, what is it like to be a student in our program? And a little bit later in the schedule today, you will hear from one of our very recent graduates who graduated this morning, Matilda. But just to show you a little bit more, we have a couple of videos which I hope will work. So I will attempt to play this one first.
Hi everyone, my name is Britannia and I study...
Just let me know if that was working with the sound. Yep.
The Master of Public Health at the University of Melbourne. I chose Melbourne because the subjects were truly aligned with my areas of interest, and they also offered the skill set that I need for my personal and professional development. I graduated from MPH in July 2023, and I'm currently undertaking my PhD at the Nossel Institute for Global Health. My PhD is looking into young mothers' access to and navigation of health and social services while situated on the Strait of Yogyakarta. My MPH has prepared me for a global career because the course structure can be applied to many different global contexts. Hi, everyone. My name is
And I will just share a different screen to show you other videos.
My name is Paulimi Sinha, and I am from Mumbai, India, and I'm currently pursuing Masters of Public Health at the University of Melbourne. I feel that Australia is a hidden gem, and I really wanted to have a health experience here in Australia because the health system here is quite advanced. What drew me to study at Uni Melb was, first of all, the ranking and also the course structure. You get to pick and choose what you're interested in. Now that I have taken so many subjects here and so many electives here, I know that sexual and reproductive health is what interests me, or women and global health is what interests me, or epidemiology, even though I was so scared of epi. But now I know that it's something that I can do, and it has opened up opportunities for me because I know what kind of roles I can apply for after my course. I also read up a lot about the faculty that teaches here, and they were just so experienced. The amount of research papers that published and the places that they were working at. One of my social highlights was the Holi festival, and it was absolutely amazing because I was missing home a lot because I've not been away from home ever. There was Indian food and Indian sweets and Indian people and even people from other countries who joined in, and it was so colorful and amazing. I have grown so much in just the last 1 year. I can't believe the things that I'm doing alone. I'm living alone, I'm studying, cooking my own food. Getting on that flight and coming to a new country is a life-changing decision, and I'm so glad that I did it.
Yeah, I hope those videos worked. And what I wanted to show with those was some of the experiences of students within our program, but also some glimpses of what our beautiful campus in Melbourne looks like. So just to
everyone. My name is
just to continue very briefly on a little bit more about the student experience and what people can expect when they come and join us in our Master of Public Health program. We have a very vibrant and engaged student society, and everybody would be invited to join this society. It's a great way to meet people, to be able to study together, but also socialise together, and particularly around adjusting to living in a new city. So in this society, there are lots of different events organised with public health speakers and different conferences or information about careers. But there's also, very importantly, social events such as film nights and trivia nights, having coffee together, which is a very important thing to be doing in Melbourne, having coffee. And just as my final slide to share with you this morning, we are very privileged to have students join us from Indonesia in our Master of Public Health program. And when I came to visit in August, we met up with some of the alumni from our program who are back working in Indonesia and making such impactful change to health systems, health services, policy, and making a real impact on public health. It was actually very inspiring and very impressive to be in their presence. So thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Belinda Dawson. Next, we will continue with the program overview of the Master of Health Policy and Management at Universitas Gadjah. Please welcome Dr. Lufanda Zuardi. The time and screen are yours.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Hafiz. A very good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished colleagues, as well as prospective students. Thank you for joining us today. It's my great pleasure to introduce the double degree program between the University of Gadjah Mada and the University of Melbourne, jointly offered through the Master of Health Policy and Management and the Master of Public Health University of Melbourne. This program is designed for future health system leaders, policymakers, and professionals that hopefully then will take on the global health system transformations. And as you already know also that our university consistently ranked as the leading universities in Indonesia, and it ranks the based on several global rankings institutions. And within the UGM Department of Management, Faculty of Medicine, Gajah Mada, within the Department of Health Policy and Management, Faculty of Medicine and Nursing at Gajah Mada University, we basically run this master program that will hope to then prepare future health leaders in the health system transformations. We are actually the only institutions offering the master program in health policy and management in Indonesia. Slide, please. Yeah. So, well, we have, of course, the missions to be the leading in innovations and educations for future health leaders. And our mission is to prepare graduates who can navigate the complex health systems and lead the transformations at national as well as global leaders. So this is just to show you some of our faculty members, dedicated faculty members that actually have several and also relevant expertise related to the health policy and management, that ranging from the human resource management, health financing, health service policy and management, as well as also health information system. This all is actually representing the expertise needed to build the strong health system institution or health system framework. And our master program in health policy and management offers the competencies that basically following the WHO health system building blocks. So we will equip the students to be master in the leadership and governance, service delivery, financing, health workforce, as well as all the others competence, such as like the health information system and also the logistic, etc. That aim to strengthening the health system building block. Slide, please. Yeah, this is just to show you some of the partner and collaborators that now also strengthening our institutions, and it's arranging in different continents as well as also countries. And this is also the resources that we can actually use to strengthening the way that we will educate our students. So the partnership reflects that commitment to produce also the graduates who can then lead the health system in diverse contexts. So our double degree programs is designed to be completed within 4 semester or 2 years time frame. And this is the things that I think very also relevant with the situations in Indonesia as well as in the global context, that now many countries, including also Indonesia, is doing the system health system transformations, and it is also the things that we expect to be led by the professionals that have the strong competency on this field. This is the reason why that our double degree program is on the right time to also prepare the future leadership perspective with the modern analytical skills, as well as also then to gain the competency needed to strengthening the health system reformations and leaderships. So the program designs to be completed in 4 semesters or 2 years. That at first semesters will be commenced at the UGM, and 2 and 3rd semester will be at the University of Melbourne, and then finalize at the UGM again. So the after the completions of the program, the students will get 2 degree. First is the Master of Health Policy and Management from UGM, and the Master of Public Health, University of Melbourne. So this is just the brief information about the structures, and this actually access also through our media platform at the website or also social media that showing the detailed course structures as also the descriptions of the each subject. But in general, the first semester will be at UGM and will focus on health service policy and management, financing, informatics, as well as epidemiology. But the two entrance semester will be continue at the University of Melbourne that will do the course related to the public health research as well as also the leadership. This is, I think, very important, and there are also several courses, elective courses that the students can choose. And the final semester will be at the UGM to do the final it can be either thesis and also the capstone projects. Okay, so yeah, so for your information also that our double degree scheme has been actually also listed to get a fund from the LPDP, and we are now also very happy to have the representative for the LPDP that later on will provide some information about how this LPDP schemes works, and hope you can basically also have the clear idea related how to finance this double degree program. Okay, slide. And yeah, I think now we'll ask Dr. Tanya to continue about the requirement as well as also the timeline related to the admissions procedures.
Thank you, Pak Lutfan, for the opportunity. So we're moving on to the next. We'll discuss about the more technical requirements for the admission. Next slide. Okay, so we have summed up the requirements for this program. This is the summary for both UGM and the University of Melbourne's requirements, and there are several things that we need to prepare beforehand for the admission process. So first thing is we have the academic requirements, and the academic requirements, the most important one is this program is designed for undergraduate professional degree from an accredited institution, because this program is very focused on the health issue. So we need undergraduate health professional to be admitted to this program. And then there is this the next requirement is the GPA for the prior undergraduate studies. So for UGM, we have the minimum GPA is 3.5, and if the minimum GPA is achieved, I think the UM's requirement for the weighted average mark of 65 would also be achieved. So that's the important thing. And for the more administrative process, we have to prepare the degree certificate and also academic transcript both in Indonesia and also in English for the UOM's admission. And then the next thing is for UGM, we have aptitude test for mandatory for the postgraduate studies. We have several tests that can be taken for the requirement. There is the PAPS, tes potensi akademik pasca sarjana. It is from UGM, and then we have other tests including TPDA PLTI, and then TPA Bapenas will also work well. And the minimum score required is 575 for this test with a certificate within the last 2 years. And moving on to the next one is English language requirements. actually, UGM and also University of Melbourne have slightly different requirements, but here we have summed up what tests that are acknowledged and common between UGM and also the University of Melbourne. We have the IELTS with a minimum 6.5 band, and each band should not be below 6. The score, and then the next one is the 2 PT. The minimum score is 81. With each test have a different minimum score. With writing and speaking, minimum score is 19, and the reading and listening, we have the minimum score is 18, and the certificate should also be issued within the last 2 years. But we suggest anyone interested in this program to also refer back to the guideline for each university, because actually in UGM, if you wanted to apply to UGM, you can actually have you can actually take another test as well that is acknowledged, but here is the summary that can be taken in mind for the UGM and UOM's admission process, so that we can be admitted to both programs initially. And then the next one is the recommendation letters. UGM requires 2 recommendation letters with academic or professional sort of admission recommendation letters, and it is submitted through the online platform. And for the University of Melbourne, there are 2 refers that could be included in the curriculum vitae during admission. And then the last thing would be the required documents. With these are the administrative documents, such as statement of purpose, research proposal, and then scholarship or sponsorship documents if applicable. And then before admission to the University of Melbourne, we need a recommendation letter issued by UGM first. So we have to apply to UGM first and then get the recommendation letter. And then we proceed to applying to the University of Melbourne. And the next slide is about the admission timeline. So UGM has 2 schemes, which are the odd semester and the even semester admissions timeline. And these schemes are applicable for prospective applicants to apply. You can both apply with whatever scheme suits you well. And so the first thing is the odd semester. The odd semester admissions will begin January next year, and it will have four batches of admission, and then the intake will be in August. And following the UGM application, if receive the recommendation letter from UGM, you can proceed to the UOM application. UOM application opens all year, but for the UOM term commencing in February, you have to submit it maximum in November. So the last admission would be accepted in November to have the UOM semester 1 admission timeline. And then the next one is even semester. So we actually currently in the even semester timeline now, since the even semester admissions timeline for 2025 is open until this January, early January. So there's still apply, but the thing to note is you have if you are accepted during this at this scheme, you will be accepted in the August next year. So this is the timeline. And then the application also opens all year, but the thing that should be noted is that the last application is received by the end of November for us to be included in the UOM's February program. That's the application timeline, and then we have a WhatsApp channel for prospective applicants to join us and receive more information on the double degree program and Master of Health Policy and Management in UGM and also Master of Public Health in UOM. I kindly invite you all to join us in this WhatsApp channel, and the QR code will also be sent through the Zoom chat. I think that's all for the admission requirements. I will pass it to the moderator. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lutfan and also Dr. Tania for the clear information and the presentation. We will now move on to the session on LPDP scholarship, but we are pleased to invite Adam Rahmat from LPDP. He is a senior analyst for scholarship development. And Adam Rahmat, the time and screen are yours.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, and this is for Dr. Lutfan Mazwardi and Belinda Dawson from Melbourne University. I'm sorry I can speak in bahasa because target in Indonesian student in Indonesia. Baik, saya akan menjelaskan terkait beasiswa LPDP yang kami buka, yang mungkin sudah diketahui oleh banyak umum para student ataupun calon mahasiswa yang akan mengambil beasiswa di LPDP. Sedikit menjelaskan di awal, intinya LPDP didirikan oleh dana abadi yang digunakannya hasil investasinya. Sejauh ini dana abadi yang ada di LPDP sebesar 140 triliun yang tahun ini direncanakan akan mendapatkan anggaran tambahan tapi belum turun, dan kemungkinan tahun depan akan mendapatkan anggaran, dan hasil investasinya digunakan untuk beasiswa seperti itu. Singkat saja, nah ini tren pendaftaran kami kalau bisa dilihat selalu meningkat dari tahun ke tahun, dan puncaknya tahun ini sampai dengan 78.000, namun memang kita untuk kuota tahun ini semakin menurun, dan di dalamnya 4.211 orang ini di dalamnya terdapat ya mahasiswa yang mengambil program double degree, walaupun itu baik dari UGM ataupun dari perguruan tinggi lainnya. Nah, terkait dana abadi tadi, LPDP pun juga memberikan beasiswa tidak hanya untuk yang disalahkan LPDP sendiri, juga dikatakan oleh Bapak Ibu semua, baik itu dari UGM ataupun calon mahasiswa yang berminat mengambil program double degree di UGM ini, bahwa LPDP juga memberikan layanan program beasiswa lain yang diselenggarakan oleh Kementerian Agama, Kementerian Pendidikan Tinggi Sains dan Teknologi, Kementerian Pendidikan Dasar dan Menengah, maupun dari BRIN itu sendiri, dan itu dikelola banyak KL tersebut, dan secara jumlah memang lebih banyak yang non-negeri karena memang program singkat, dan secara akumulasi LPDP sendiri ada 58.000 orang penerima beasiswa, dan dana abadi perguruan tinggi untuk digunakan untuk PTNBH dan UGM salah satu yang menerima, juga dana abadi penelitian yang itu banyak diselenggarakan dari BRIN. Nah, ini intinya secara general LPDP mencari 8 jenis awardee yang menjadi sasaran, ada corporate leader sampai dengan community leader ataupun institutional of reform regional leaders. Kinerja layanan LPDP sampai 30 September ini bisa dilihat sejauh ini kita sudah punya melakukan 1.814 orang dengan sasarannya banyaknya program S2, S3, karena mitra amanat LPDP juga ada yang spesialis, satunya yang mungkin di bawah fakultas kedokteran juga mendapatkan mahasiswa yang dikirimkan oleh LPDP, termasuk juga non-degree dalam hal ini fellowship dokter spesialis, dan LPDP juga trennya juga ingin meningkatkan fokusnya di bidang STEM, sehingga pada tahun ini pun kita sudah meningkat sampai 67%. Nah, ini juga mengikuti arahan Presiden saat ini bahwa kita juga harus fokus kepada industri yang menjadi prioritas dalam Asta Cita, sehingga LPDP ke depannya dan tahun depan pun akan difokuskan pada bidang-bidang yang terkait industri prioritas, dan salah satunya mungkin yang bidang double degree UGM ini juga terkait karena dia termasuk mendukung industri prioritas bidang kesehatan atau public health. Nah, ini program layanan kolaborasi LPDP dengan KL banyak sekali programnya, baik itu yang degree ataupun non degree, tapi untuk tahun ini memang sedikit berkurang karena memang kita 2003-2024 digenjot banyak program menteri sebelumnya, sehingga memang kapasitas dananya berkurang dalam konteks dana bagi hasilnya seperti itu. Singkat aja, nah ini untuk program yang ada di LPDP sangat banyak memang. Nah ini nanti terkait dengan program double degree yang akan dijelaskan sedikit. Pada intinya program double degree memang bukan program berdiri sendiri atau khusus di LPDP, dia itu melekat di beberapa program karena kita menganggapnya itu hanya sebagai tujuan studi tanpa dibuat khusus secara spesifik programnya seperti itu. Untuk tahapan seleksi LPDP ada 3 tahapan: administrasi, bakat skolastik, substansi, maupun sampai nanti ditetapkan sebagai calon penerima beasiswa. Dalam administrasi ini peserta pendaftar dicek kelengkapan dokumen hitam atau putihnya, misalnya tadi syarat IPK atau TOEFL yang ditentukan LPDP, ya ini harus mengikuti ketentuan LPDP. Kadang-kadang syarat LPDP lebih rendah dari perguruan tinggi, sehingga memang LPDP kan secara general, sehingga memang pendaftar harus mengikuti, kalau ingin apply ke kampus tujuannya memang harus mengikuti ketentuan kampus tujuan saat mendaftar di kampus tujuan. Tapi di LPDP boleh-boleh saja dia ikuti syarat LPDP. Nah, ada 2 track setelah yang belum memiliki LOA dan sudah memiliki LOA. Kalau belum memiliki LOA, maka dia harus mengikuti seleksi bakat skolastik ini semacam TPA, seperti TPA Bappenas, tapi kita bekerjasama dengan Kemendikbudristek. Terus juga yang kalau sudah memiliki LOA, dia akan seleksi substansi. Substansi ini lebih kepada penilaian seleksi wawancara dan esai yang sudah didaftar saat pendaftaran, seperti itu. Nah, kalau memang nanti dalam program double degree ini mendapatkan LOA, maka yang bersangkutan akan tanpa mengikuti bakat skolastik, dan harapannya jika memang mendapatkan LOA-nya tertulis double degree, itu juga lebih baik. Nah, ini untuk pembiayaan LPDP double degree dan atau joint degree. Pada intinya, program double degree joint degree LPDP adalah skema yang untuk mendapatkan 2 gelar akademis, double degree sekaligus dalam 1 periode dari perguruan tinggi yang berbeda dari dalam negeri dan luar, atau skema kerjasama antar perguruan tinggi dari dalam negeri dan luar negeri yang disangka untuk mendapatkan 1 gelar atau joint degree akademis dalam 1 periode. Nah, dalam teknisnya pendaftaran joint degree ataupun double degree ini itu mengikuti persyaratan kriteria tujuan luar negeri, sehingga syarat bahasa, syarat ketentuannya mengikuti kemampuan bahasa Inggris luar negeri. Kalau misal di beasiswa reguler ya syarat IELTS-nya minimal 6,5, maka dia harus 6,5 saat ini mendaftar program double degree ini. Nah, program beasiswa double degree ini menempel kira-kira ada di beasiswa afirmasi, targeted, ataupun beasiswa umumnya LPDP. Itu di daerah afirmasi, putra-putri Papua, penyandang disabilitas, prasejahtera, ataupun reguler ataupun parsial. Nah, ini secara umum saya ambil 1 syarat program yang ketika misalnya pendaftar mendaftar di beasiswa yang reguler LPDP, maka kriterianya syarat usianya harus 35 tahun maksimal untuk jika itu program double degree-nya gelar magister. Kalau jika ada doktor dia itu 40 tahun, seperti itu. Kalau untuk karena ini case-nya double degree, maka dia mengikuti syarat bahasanya yang luar negeri, yaitu TOEFL IMT 80, PT Academic 58, atau IELTS 6,5. Jika ada double degree dokter, maka mengikuti syarat dokternya regular IBT 94, PT Academic 65, dan IELTS 7,0. Syarat IPK-nya magister 3,0, dokter 3,25. Terus kemudian proses seleksi administrasi sudah, dan ini list perguruan tingginya kalau secara general LPDP untuk reguler ada 100 perguruan tinggi terbaik di dunia dan ditambah dengan top berdasarkan by subject 25 terbaik di dunia. Nah, untuk komponen beasiswanya sebenarnya untuk double degree dan joint degree itu sama persis seperti full funding LPDP, yaitu dana pendidikan, dana pendukung. Dana pendidikan itu terdiri dari pendaftaran, SPP, atau UKT dikenalnya kalau misalnya di UGM ataupun di luar gitu, tuition fee, dana tunjangan buku, dana bantuan penelitian, dana bantuan seminar, nasional, dan aplikasi. Dana pendukung itu transportasi, aplikasi visa atau resident permit kita berikan juga, asuransi kesehatan, hidup bulanan, dana kedatangan, dana tunjangan keluarga jika program double degree-nya juga untuk khusus dokter, tapi kalau untuk master tidak diberikan. Dana keadaan darurat juga diberikan. Program pengayaan jika memang pendaftar program double degree ini ngambil track-nya afirmasi, maka dia mendapat kesempatan untuk meningkatkan kemampuan bahasanya di LPDP melalui program pengayaan bahasa. Jika juga ada yang penyandang disabilitas juga diberikan untuk mendampingnya, itu bisa terkait visa, transportasi, asuransi, tunjangan visanya, dan biaya pendukung lainnya yang memang terkait dengan pendamping disabilitas. Nah, ini untuk detailnya. Nah, ini yang menarik untuk double degree memang. Kalau double degree ini kita bisa membayar khususnya untuk pendaftaran itu bisa sampai 2 kali, yaitu jika memang ada pendaftaran di UGM ataupun di Melbourne, dua-duanya bisa dibayar itu jika ada pembayaran. Namun untuk tuition fee memang agak berbeda. Kita memberikan ketika tagihannya peruntukannya memang untuk studi di tempat kampus yang berada. Kalau dari case study untuk program yang double degree UGM kesehatan ini, 1 semester di semester pertama itu di UGM, 2 dan 3 di Melbourne, dan semester 4 di UGM. Maka yang kita bayar untuk semester 1 dan 4 itu hanya tagihan tuition fee dari UGM. Ketika tagihan semester 2 dan 3, maka itu yang kita bayarkan hanya yang dari Melbourne. Kemudian dana tunjangan buku sama, baik itu saat studinya di dalam ataupun di Melbourne, itu 10 juta per tahun. Dengan kalau durasi 2 tahun, maka hanya 2 kali dalam masa studi itu diberikan tunjangan buku. Dana bantuan tesis dan disertasi, maka ini akan mengikuti ketentuan yang berlaku saat dia nilainya standarnya luar negeri, karena dia dianggap double degree, sehingga nilainya kalau untuk ketentuan sekarang untuk magister kerjasama dengan double degree UGM ini maksimal 40 juta per tahun, 40 juta untuk sekali penelitian jika memang ada penelitian tesis. Ya. Dana bantuan seminar juga diberikan, itu yang berlaku itu harus menjadi pembicara dengan dihadiri oleh 5 negara pesertanya, itu diberikan bantuan seminar, dan publikasi jurnal internasional diberikan juga sampai kapan berlaku. Maka dia akan diberikan jika masuk Q1 Q2 maka mendapatkan insentif dari LPDP. Dana transportasi, nah ini keunikan untuk program double degree, pada umumnya kita hanya memberikan kalau yang single degree itu hanya 2 kali saat berangkat di pertama dan saat pulang selalu studi. Tapi kalau untuk program ini diberikan ketika di dalam saat berangkat di awal, dan ketika perpindahan semester 1 kedua nih ke Melbourne ke Australia, itu juga diberikan kembali ke Indonesia. Dari Melbourne ke Indonesia itu diberikan, dan nanti saat selesai di UGM ini kita diberikan. Jadi itu haknya 4 kali, kalau pada umumnya single degree hanya 2 kali. Terus karena ini ada kebutuhan untuk ke Melbourne, ke Australia, maka juga diberikan aplikasi visa atau resident permitnya dibayarkan oleh PDP. Asuransinya akan mengikuti juga waktu studinya. Ketika dia di dalam negeri, maka diberikan asuransi kesehatan yang berlaku untuk di Indonesia. Kalau Indonesia kami memberikan senilai BPJS kelas 1 per bulan. Nah, ketika nanti keluar negeri, maka biaya asuransi kesehatannya bisa di-cover LPDP dengan dengan selama durasi studinya di Australia. Dan hidup bulanannya juga akan menyesuaikan tempat studinya. Jadi kalau tadi dengan skema yang magister ini, maka 6 bulan pertama dia akan mendapatkan nilai dana hidup bulanan Indonesia, atau kalau Yogyakarta itu 4,5 juta per bulan. Dan kalau ketika nanti ke Melbourne, itu ke Australia sekitar 2.800 AUD per bulan dia akan mendapatkan. Nah, untuk dana kedatangan ini memang kita memberikannya hanya 1 kali, tidak jadi 2 kali, tapi diberikan saat nanti mahasiswa ketika dia berpindah dari Indonesia ke Australia, dan nilainya 2 kali dana hidup bulanan, dan besaran dana hidup bulanan adalah 2 kali dari Australia, sehingga di total 5.600 AUD, sehingga dia mendapatkan dana kedatangan senilai itu, dan hanya 1 kali dalam masa studi program ini. Dana tunjangan keluarga, karena ini tidak ada magister, jadi sehingga tidak tunjangan keluarga. Tapi kalau untuk ada program doktor, misalnya nanti ke depan ada program doktor, maka ini bisa diberikan dengan hitungan LPDP. Sama seperti mengikuti dana hidup bulanan, dia akan nilainya menyesuaikan dengan lokasi studinya saat berlangsung. Dana keadaan darurat yang itu standar LPDP. Dana keadaan darurat ini jika memang ada force major atau semacam sakit keras dan dia harus kembali dan tidak bisa melanjutkan studi, itu jadi cover LPDP. Mungkin itu yang bisa saya sampaikan dari LPDP terkait kebijakan dan peluangnya untuk program double degree ini. Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Mr. Adam Rahmat from LPDP. We'll now continue with the current student ambassador. We have 2 students from UGM and the University of Melbourne. The first session will be explained by Ahmad Naufal, who will share his experience as a student.
Okay, hello, good afternoon. My name is Naufal. Thank you for having me. Slide, please. Okay, yes. Okay, so my name is Naufal. I'm alumni from Health Policy and Management 2030 class, and actually I already graduated last semester. And right now I'm working for the Center for Health Policy and Faculty as research assistant. And I have my educational background before I started as master students is pharmacy and sociology. Yeah, thank you very much for the screen. And actually, I also scholarship awardee, LPDP scholarship awardee from the SIM at 2030 batch second. Next, so I will tell you about my experience during my study in health policy and management. As like another master's degree, of course, we have a lot of assignments and papers. And next, we also have many much and fun teamwork projects. That the things that make it fun is before yeah, actually we have. Okay, thank you. So what is make the study experience is fun? Because in my classroom I have met many friends from many different educational background, from the pharmacy, public health, medical doctor, nursing, and another healthcare educational backgrounds. That in the discussion forum, I get many new perspective in healthcare, not only from my background as pharmacist, but also another perspective from another allied healthcare professionals. And then, okay. And then what makes it more unique is also we have the department have like multidisciplinary approach. Like our lecturer, for example, Prof. Mubashir is one of our favorite lecturer. He is a medical doctor, but also he have sociology backgrounds. And also the another lecturer we have like from the health economic, anthropology, and also public policy and health informatics. So the approach for the program is very multidisciplinary, not only on the medical aspect, but also in from the another discipline. And we also have like field trip to like Jakarta Puskesmas, and also field lecture in Sleman Puskesmas. So not only study in the classroom, but we also have like field trip to see like how the health professional doing their job daily. And if you think that you still have a lot of energy, actually the department and their friends, like from the research center and another department like from the public health, they have a lot of non-academic activity outside the classroom, like seminar, workshop, guest lecture, and etc. almost every week. So if you think that the academic activity in the classroom is not enough, you can join many things, many activity outside the classroom. And then somehow the department also encourage us to join conference. Like in 1 year, you can join 2 conferences from the Public Health Symposium. It's held by Master of Public Health Department, and also Postgraduate Forum held by Health Policy and Management Department, but also with another university from Thailand and Malaysia. So like next year, the Postgraduate Forum will be held in Thailand. So you can try to have oral presentation in conference. And also, if you are LPDP scholarship awardee, you can have international conferences, which is myself and my friend Mbak Asih. We have conference in Qatar, in pharmacy conference, and it's partially funded by the LPDP. So then the health policy and management is what you are looking for if you want to learn, and the perspective, like from the institutional level, from the hospital, from the puskesmas, from the district health perspective. So the macro perspective, like from the regional, the provincial, the national level, or maybe the global perspective about the health system. And the perspective is delivered in a health system building block thinking. And I think it's like, we not only think one things like pharmacy or maybe like a medical doctor, but also it's a macro and meso level thinking. So it's really opened my mind about really happen in health system in Indonesia. And also if you want to know how the health policy shaped by the researcher and technician and like we know that in the academic forum, we're thinking about the research thing to find new things to answer hypotheses and other. But in this department, we also think how to deliver, how to implement, how to effectively deliver our new finding in the research things forum to the real world, to the community, to the developing of the health sector in the country. And then, so what the scholarship, the LBDP, I think LBDP is a scholarship that you are looking for if you have like missions to develop national interests of Indonesia and of course the healthcare system in Indonesia. And then you can also get connections for the funds of LBDP awardee from the across the region, from the across the Indonesia, like from the west to the east. And we have community like PK. PK is persiapan keberangkatan. It actually activity to prepare the awardee before we set the university. And we have like 100 to 200 people's awardees that we have activity together for 1 to 2 weeks. And then we have kelurahan organizations. It's actually organizations in the level of university. So we have like forum activity together and another collaborations during our students as master or doctoral students in the university. And also we have Garuda organizations. It's actually organization for the alumni. So we can connect to like more than 50,000 awardee alumni in Indonesia. And it's actually a very good opportunity that we can connect to each other. We can talk about our research project, and maybe we can have many collaborations between university. And then of course, the most important thing is complete package of benefit, like Pak Adam already explained earlier. It's very complete, like from the tuition fee, for the courses, for the publications in international journal and etc. And it's very complete. I think it's very enough to support our study in our doctorate degree. And then for the closing, okay, actually it's very fun to think about doing a master degree, but doing it in reality is very much of challenges and miserable, of course, ton of assignment and paper. But I think if we can get master degree with support from LBDP, and of course in a degree program, it will be very helpful and much of fun. So I think it's very good opportunity, good of experience to have master degree experience study in UGM and U. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Noval. Noval were my class before in this department. And now we proceed to the next one. We have Matilda Christine joining us today as the student ambassador for the University of Melbourne.
Oh, thank you. Hi, everyone. First thing, I'm sorry I didn't prepare any material. I didn't prepare any PowerPoint, but don't worry, just ask me any question. And if you want to ask anything, feel free. And I'll just share my story to you. So I finished my name is Matilda Christine Pinsai. I'm from East Nusa Tenggara, Indonesia. My background, my educational background, I'm doing midwifery in the University of 11 Maret in Surakarta. And then I am an awardee LPDP as well. I am now just graduated from the University of Melbourne, Master of Public Health. And I love to share my story with you here when studying in UniMelb. So in the University of Melbourne, because I'm taking the full-time student course, it's just 2 years. And I have 200 points. And then each semester I can take up to 4 subjects. So the first year I think we have like 6 core subjects. It's like mandatory subject. And then we also have professional practice unit. I mean, we have capstone, and capstone we have 3 different capstone. Their professional practice unit is kind of like internship, and then the other one is public health in practice, and also research. So there's 3 kind of capstone project we can take, and then there are 4 electives we can take. So I think it's kind of different from Indonesia. Here, research is not mandatory. It's optional. We can choose if we want. In my experience, I chose research. So for doing the research, I think the requirement is like you have to have there are like for 3 subjects. There are 3 subjects that you have to have the overall score is at least 75% in order to doing the research. And then for research itself, you can do either in 6-month period, like 1 semester, or you can do it 1 year long for like 2 semesters. What else? And also, well, if you mention it like this is a LPDP program, there's a lot of people in Melbourne with LPDP already as well. So if you guys choose this program, I think that's a very good opportunity because we also have big community here in Melbourne. We call it LUNA, so LPDP UniMelb Association, and there's a lot of Indonesian students with LPDP scholarship, and also it's easy to find any food here. It's very plural. I mean, in the beginning, it's very like picky to find some food, but it's very easy. Melbourne is very lovely city. It's very easy. You can find any food from any countries here. And then the people are so lovely. And in the class, we also have some international networking because people from different backgrounds gather together. And then for the assignment, it's always fun because sometimes it becomes essay, sometimes it's oral presentation. It can be very creative. Sometimes we create project. So I'm looking at the flyer that Belinda shared before, like in the email, and then I look, there are some subjects that's very fun. Oh, and by the way, Master of Public Health for the 2 years one, we have like some specialization. And in my case, I took sexual reproductive health because my background is midwifery. So I want to look aligned with that. And then my research is about contraception decision making among women with ADHD in Australian context. And yes, as Pak Adam explained before, we can access LPDP's support for research. So we can use that money to, for example, if in my case, in some of my friends' case, if they even want to do it in Indonesia, there's some support for that. So we can use that support from LPDP. What else? I think, for publication, we can do it as well because LPDP also provides the support. However, in my case, I think we need to do it while we are studying. So it's a little bit not possible because like we have to do the research and then do it publication right away. So, but I think in this new scheme, it's a very good opportunity because you can do it in Indonesia and then 1 year in Melbourne, in Australia, and then 6 months in Indonesia. So it's a great thing. What else can I say? I think it's a very good opportunity for you all to try this because we also, in the University of Melbourne, we are able to choose our subject that align with our interest. So it's very supportive, and then not only academic, but also they also have the like psychological support as well. Yeah. So and there's some professors like there's many experts in their field that support us, and then it feels like home. So don't worry about the cultural differences. There's a lot of people that are very lovely here, and also again there's a LPDP community here, UniMelb student LPDP scholarship community here. So don't worry about it. Just try your luck and good luck. Hope to see many people come to Melbourne Uni and experience what I've experienced here. Thank you.
Thank you, Farida, for the presentation, for the sharing sessions. Okay, we will now open the question. Participant joining both online and offline may ask question. You may raise your hand and open microphone or submit your question through the chat. Or maybe first question from Fadli about the GPA requirement because he has the GPA below 3.5 and above 3 from faculty of dentistry UGM. Is it still possible for me to apply for the program? Thank you. And maybe Dr. Tania or Dr. Ilhasul will explain about it.
Thank you, Pak Fadli, for the question. Regarding this, I will just explain it in Bahasa Indonesia for the prospective applicants as well. Jadi untuk persyaratannya sejauh ini adalah IPK-nya yang dipersyaratkan oleh UGM adalah 3,5. Nah, apabila nanti ada perubahan dalam persyaratan dari UGM, nanti kami akan infokan kepada Bapak Ibu calon mahasiswa semua melalui mailing list maupun dari WhatsApp channel yang kami form mailing list sudah kami share tadi di kolom chat, itu juga boleh bergabung di situ karena kami juga akan share info-info gitu. Jadi memang sejauh ini persyaratan dari UGM IPK.
Okay, from the Khofifah Meira, you can open your mic.
Halo, apakah suara saya terdengar?
Ya bisa.
Ya.
Apakah saya boleh menanyakan pertanyaan ke pihak UGM dan Melbourne ya?
Yes.
Oke, untuk pertanyaan UGM, seperti yang sudah saya baca di website bahwa di UGM itu kan ada beberapa peminatan. Dan apabila mengambil program double degree ini, apakah nantinya harus memilih peminatan juga atau tidak seperti itu. Lalu nanti ketika di semester 4 kembali ke UGM, opsi capstone project-nya apakah harus berupa tesis atau juga bisa dikombinasikan dengan internship seperti itu, Bapak Ibu. Itu untuk pertanyaan yang di UGM. And then for the Melbourne University, could you explain the example of the internship that can be followed in the university? And as I heard from the Miss Matilda before, University of Melbourne also have a specialty, right? So if I took this program, should I choose the specialty or how? Thank you. That's for the question.
Maybe Miss Matilda will answer the question first.
Yeah, sure. Thank you for the question. Well, when I explain about the specialization in Master of Public Health, because for the 2 years Master of Public Health program in the University of Melbourne, we have several specialization. One of it is sexual reproductive health, the one that I took. However, I'm not sure about this project because I see in the leaflet that they share. I don't know whether it's. I think I'm gonna answer the internship better, but about the project, I think Belinda or Pak Adam gonna explain better. It's not my part, I guess. So for the internship, it's almost similar to RISA, but they have higher standard for that, and it's very competitive. So for the professional practice, the internship, it's just you have to have at least 80% average mark in order to apply for the internship. And usually there's some list of the place where you can go and apply. Like there's some networking between uni and some places. So you can go and do internship there. That's from my experience, not from my friend's experience, because I don't do internship. Thank you. Belinda, probably you can explain better for the project. I'm sorry, thank you.
Thank you. Yes, I'll respond to some of that question. So what we've been talking about there is some of the information about our main Master of Public Health program, which is the 200-point 2-year in Melbourne program. For this brand new double degree that's being offered with UGM and with University of Melbourne, we have it's a modified program to allow you to complete and to graduate with both of the master's degrees. So to achieve that, we have a more limited selection of electives, and you would be doing electives that are related to policy and management, so that the two master's degrees are in fact connected well. So we've selected the very best electives for you to take, and you get to choose from a small set of electives. In our main Master of Public Health program, in their final year and final semester, students do undertake the capstone, which is research or internship. In this dual degree program, again, it's modified, so you'll actually be doing a research project based back in Indonesia.
Okay, thank you for the answer, Miss Belinda and Miss Matilda.
Maybe Dr. Lutfan will answer the first question.
It's a related major track in our stream in our program. Well, actually, this is for those who basically required by each institution. So this is actually following the situations in Indonesia. Of course, this double degree actually decide differently and to choose the course that has been actually offered. There are several course that basically representing all of the tracks in our stream, but this is actually selected. So then you just choose what has been actually offered. This is necessary to follow journal stream, which is actually usually for those who already work in our institutions that requires the selected course. But for the double degree is different. The course has been actually arranged according to the agreement with the university. This answer the question. The final project, the new regulation that released just recently from the UK, the final project can also be done through the CAPS. But yeah, this is now we options how then to clear, but the new regulation is allow us also to have not the hard like before, but it can also be more on real world. Then we'll inform you in detail hopefully soon. But this right now the name is still thesis. Hope this answer.
Baik, terima kasih jawabannya, Pak.
Thank you very much, Dr. Lut. And maybe next question, Agung.
Oke, terima kasih Pak atasnya. Apa suara saya terdengar?
Iya.
Ya, baik. Saya ingin bertanya ke pihak LPDP karena kebetulan di sesi ini juga ada sesi LPDP. Izin Pak, tanyakan adalah apakah tadi sempat juga saya perhatikan di sesi yang UGM juga ada tempat list double degree. Berarti apa program skema ini ada memang khusus untuk double degree yang ada di universitas di Indonesia dengan luar negeri? Jika seperti itu, apakah sistematikanya seperti beasiswa targeted LPDP yang bundling dengan pihak di luar negeri yang mengharuskan ada LOA, dan LOA yang seperti apa yang diminta Pak? Apakah LOA UGM dan menyatakan double degree itu sudah bisa kita masukkan ke dalam dokumen ikuti skema double degree-nya, ataukah juga sudah harus ada LOA dari University of Melbourne-nya atau mendapatkan 2 LOA? Kemudian ataukah kita juga bisa sembari mendaftar tapi juga sembari mendaftar di kampusnya, atau dalam hal ini skema non LOA itu tadi, karena tadi kan juga sempat dijelaskan contoh untuk skema regulernya, di mana kalau non LOA berarti kita ikut skolastik, atau seperti apa sih Pak khusus di double degree ini? Terima kasih.
Okay, thank you Fashion. Maybe Pak Adam will answer.
Oke, terima kasih. Saya akan menjawab pertanyaan dari Mas Agung Setiono Pranto, dan mungkin juga sekalian dengan pertanyaan di chat dari Mbak Bunga Fatima, Riana, dan Sevi, guys, mirip-mirip apa yang ditanyakan oleh Pak Agung Setiono Pranto. Jadi pada intinya sebenarnya program double degree ini salah satu supporting LPDP untuk mensupport perguruan tinggi di dalam negeri untuk meningkatkan nilainya, ya, nilai semacam penilaian internasional sehingga makin bagus dan semakin meningkat, sehingga LPDP support untuk semua program double degree. Namun untuk double degree sistemnya memang tidak bisa otomatis masuk dalam list LPDP karena kan sistemnya kerjasama antara perguruan PTDN dan PTLN itu sendiri, mitranya siapa, dan memang ya itu kan tidak terbuka umum, sehingga memang dari pihak UGM atau beberapa PTNBH atau perguruan tinggi dalam negeri itu bersurat kepada LPDP dengan sudah memiliki kerjasama dengan mitra-mitra yang bekerja sama untuk program double degree. Nah, memang LPDP datang sistemnya full funding di sini, tidak co-funding atau seperti biasa otoritas yang kami bekerjasama dengan contohnya Australian Wars yang saat ini di dalamnya ada Melbourne di sana. Tapi itu sistem kan single. Tapi kalau co-funding ini hanya masuk dalam list ketika lulus pendaftaran dia akan mendapatkan beasiswa penuh dari LPDP. Itu yang pertama. Yang kedua mungkin menjawab juga untuk pertanyaan yang tadi saya sempat beberapa nama. Pada intinya ini sama seperti beasiswa LPDP pada umumnya, tidak perlu wajib LOA saat daftar, bisa dengan menggunakan LOA juga. Nah, ketika menggunakan LOA pun kami bisa menerima LOA yang hanya dikeluarkan oleh UGM yang menyatakan bahwa penerima mahasiswa ini mengikuti program double degree dengan mitranya. Contohnya kalau untuk magister Kesehatan publik dan manajemen ini bekerjasama dengan Public Health-nya University of Melbourne. Nah, itu sudah tertulis di situ, maka itu kita anggap namanya LA program WG, walaupun itu hanya dikeluarkan oleh UGM. Nah, menambahkan lagi, gimana nih kalau misalnya sudah mendapatkan tadi dari UGM, ternyata di tengah jalan kemampuan bahasanya dipertanyakan misalnya, atau tiba-tiba ada force major yang seharusnya tadinya harus ke Melbourne untuk melanjutkan studi double degree tidak jadi. Nah, di kebijakan LPDP kalau memang yang sudah ikut program daftar untuk double degree ini, maka diperkenankan melanjutkan studinya single degree di UGM sampai selesai, itu diperbolehkan. Jadi ini untuk menjawab semua pertanyaan tadi, sehingga nggak masalah awalnya ternyata pilih double degree, ternyata ujung-ujungnya akhirnya single degree menyelesaikan studinya di UGM, itu boleh. Karena memang kita melihat ada kemungkinan hal itu terjadi, karena kan tadi saya bilang bahwa program ini double degree ini menempel di program beasiswanya PDP, bukan program beasiswa itu sendiri, sehingga bisa jadi ada kawan-kawan kita dari daerah afirmasi sebenarnya bisa jadi persyaratan bahasanya belum memenuhi saat mengikuti perkuliahan, kira-kira begitu, sehingga kita memberikan peluang untuk tetap dia melanjutkan studi single degree, mendapatkan gelarnya di UGM saja. Seperti itu. Mungkin menjawab pertanyaan dari Mas Agung ya. Terima kasih.
Terima kasih, Pak.
Thank you very much. Okay, from Shefi to Pak.
Ini sudah tadi sekalian jawab semuanya, Mas.
From Bunga and Riana. Okay,
juga sudah sekalian tadi semuanya. Saya rangkum.
Maybe from about the GPA also answered. Is this program still eligible for students who have started the major policy and management in GM?
We haven't yet actually prepared for the space, but we will discuss you hope already registered. We haven't decided him yet for this, but we'll inform.
Thank you, Dr. Ulfa. Question from Raditya Perdana Arya Satya.
Yes, thank you so much for the opportunity. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Raditya Perdana Arya Satya. I'm actually still a medical clerkship or a co-assistant doctor. I'm from 11 Maret University, Surakarta. Saya izin bertanya untuk Bapak Adam terkait LPDP tadi. Sebelumnya terima kasih Bapak atas pemaparannya tentang persyaratan umum dan khusus dan program-program apa saja yang ada di bawah naungan LPDP. Saya izin bertanya untuk LPDP sendiri, kalau kasusnya double degree tadi misalkan ada 4 semester, 1 semester di Indonesia, dan semester 2 dan 3-nya di luar negeri, contohnya tadi di Unimel, kemudian semester terakhirnya kembali ke Indonesia, seperti itu. Kalau misalkan nanti ketika contohnya saya masuk ke program di Medical Health Policies and Management-nya di Indonesia, itu saya misalkan daftarnya melalui menggunakan beasiswa LPDP, kemudian nanti ketika saya berangkat ke Melbourne contohnya begitu, apakah nanti jatah LPDP yang sudah saya gunakan selama di Indonesia itu bisa lanjut dengan alur yang sama, atau nanti apakah ada berkas-berkas tertentu yang juga harus didaftarkan juga begitu sebelum nanti ke Melbourne, atau apakah ada regulasi yang harus saya tambahkan juga sebagai pendaftaran sebelum nanti ke Melbourne, atau nanti sebelum ke Melbourne akan alur tetap sama gitu sama yang dari sebelumnya di Indonesia, kemudian dari Melbourne ke Indonesia tetap sama regulasinya, seperti itu. Terima kasih.
Ya, terima kasih, izin langsung jawab ya. Oke, terima kasih Mas Raditya. Pada intinya sebenarnya LPDP akan membiayai semua proses pembiayaannya tapi mengikuti lokasi studinya, kira-kira begitu ya. Kalau tadi misalnya di Indonesia dulu dengan skemanya UGM dengan University of Melbourne ini kan 1 semester 6 bulan pertama itu di UGM, kemudian semester 2 ada ketiganya di Melbourne di Australia, dan semester 4-nya itu di Indonesia. Maka selama itu akan pembiayaannya mengikuti ketentuan kebijakan di tempat studinya. Jadi selama Indonesia maka hak-haknya adalah pembiayaan Indonesia. Ketika pindah ke luar negeri, hak-haknya adalah pembiayaan jatahnya kurinya LPDP sebagai yang luar negeri, kira-kira begitu, dan hidup bulannya menyesuaikan. Jadi ketika udah pindah ke Australia, ya ditinggalin tuh biaya-biaya yang timbul di Indonesia, nggak kita biayai. Jadi yang biaya yang kita biayai biaya yang timbul selama di Australia, seperti di stop, kira-kira begitu. Karena kita melihatnya, ya itu aktivitas yang dilakukan adalah mengikuti lokasinya, kira-kira begitulah, seperti itu. Jelas ya jawabannya. Nah tadi untuk detail ini sebenarnya tadi juga disampaikan juga alumni kita yang di LPDP dari UGM tadi, saya lupa nama masih siapa, itu akan dijelaskan juga di persiapan keberangkatan atau PK lebih detail dan teknisnya, sehingga pun nanti syarat-syarat misalnya pengajuan pencairan pendanaannya yang nanti di dalam negeri itu apa nanti dijelaskan detail saat di sana. Jadi kalau menurut saya sih sekarang nggak perlu tahu, nanti aja sih detail-detailnya ketika sudah menjadi ORD, karena kalau dipikirin sekarang ya nanti memang eksekusinya nanti sih karena nggak perlu dikumpulkan sekarang gitu Mas Raditya.
Baik, matur nuwun Bapak Adam atas penjelasannya.
Thank you very much. And maybe we have been answered all the question, but if you still have the question, you can ask via WhatsApp channel or also send us an email. Maybe we can show the barcode our website. If you still have a question, just in our WhatsApp channel and maybe you can email us our WhatsApp scan. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude today's sessions, allow me to briefly summarize our discussion today. We have been introduced to the double degree program between University Gadjah Mada and the University of Melbourne, and also we also gain valuable insight into the LPDP schemes and heard the first-hand experience from a student regarding academic life and learning. We hope that this session has provided clarity and useful information to support your academic planning and preparation. On behalf of the organizing, I would like to thank all speakers from the University Gadjah Mada and the University of Melbourne and LPDP, as well as all participants for your valuable time and contribution. Thank you and have a wonderful. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.